Welcome back to Spectacle Island for episode 29 with me, Mr. Sealy P. Right then, as the thumbnail showed, I have a problem. I'm a bit of a spendaholic. The money has gone down. As you can see, I bought all the pig food, that's all gone up, and I put that into storage, and that I made an absolute gaff, so to speak. When I was up on the deck and I said let's see what we've got, and I started filling up with what was on the deck, I came down here to the pig food thing. I thought, you know what, I'll do the rest of it in here. As I was filling up, I kind of spun the camera around, and along the dock here there were about 10-15 pallets of pig food lined up there, because when the space is full up there, this is where it puts stuff that you buy. So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. Anyway, so I have spent pretty much everything I made. But there is some other news. We have got field 6 is ready to harvest. Fields 1 through 5 and 9, 10, 11 all need seeding, planting, whatever. But here's the thing. I've switched up. This is a 12 metre. This is the smaller of the two. This is the modded one. What I've bought is the Stara, what's it called? The Stara something. Stara Absoluta 44 row, which is a 20.5 metre. So we've gone up. I said I was going to get a bigger one. We've gone up a bit. It's big, but it's not a direct drill. So I thought, you know what? I did look at a few different direct drill options, and I thought, I've used them before. You know, there's the larger one of this, and there's a few other ones. So I thought, you know what, we'll just have to cultivate. So I've bought a cultivator too. Now I haven't gone for the massive cultivator. I've gone for the Bednar Swifter 18.2 metre. I've also bought a new harvester, but we don't need to use that yet. So I mean, you might have made out what it is from the thumbnail. Let's sell that. So we'll get a bit of money back on that. Oh, that's not as much as I thought it was going to be. Mind you, they're not expensive anyway. That's the beauty of the two Great Plains ones, the modded one and the larger one, is for the size you get and the fact they do all crops and their direct drills, they're really cheap. So what I need to do first is get cultivating underway. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to get the cotton harvesting gear. So we're going to do some cotton harvesting. I'm going to need, I think I'm going to go with the John Deere this time. I know it's more expensive to lease. I mean, it's almost double the price. 43 grand to lease. Good grief. That's insane. Now we'll lease it. I want to do round bales. So, bearing in mind, cotton harvesting takes a while. These things do look amazing. They're incredible bits of kit. Especially the fact they fold up low like that for transport and kind of, that's really brilliant. So we're going to get this up to the field. We're going to start in the cotton harvest. I'm going to prep so I can get a worker going. It's going to take a while. So that means while that's going on, bearing in mind it's now 10 to 4 and it's supposed to rain. So I want to get as much cotton off that field as I can before it rains. I don't know how long I've got. Then I'm going to get out with the Claas tractor and we're going to get cultivating. So as I cultivate each field, and we're going to come behind that with seeder / planter. I haven't really at this point decided what crop I'm going to put in the ground yet. I don't really know. So we'll see. Now the other thing I was to say was over the next couple of days, a couple of videos are going to pop up that I have pre-recorded and scheduled. One for tomorrow, one for Friday. And in that video, those videos, and in this one, I have mentioned the fact that I'm away. I think I might have done in yesterday's video that I'm away with my wife. I won't be going. We're not going away. We're not going away now. Turns out that my eldest daughter, who doesn't live with us anymore, we all came out the other side of having, the dreaded lurgy, and we went to her house for dinner on Sunday. She's been here to our house. Silly G has been out with her for the day. They went out shopping and all sorts of stuff. She's just tested positive. Now, this is where everything there's a bit of a grey area, and this is something I wanted to touch on. That the government have kind of stepped away and gone, you know what? We've had that in the UK. Was it the 19th Freedom Day? Everyone go and do what you like. We're trusting you. We're trusting you, the public, to do the right thing. Right, okay. When has that ever worked? Businesses have then started saying, well, you know, now we've gone past Freedom Day, we can pick and choose what of the rules we follow and what we don't. So, I mean, there are so many rules and people are ignoring other ones. So, CNG has spent a load of time with her eldest sister who's just tested positive. Now, she didn't get it when we were all ill. So she just rang work to say, look, I've got to self-isolate, and was told that, well, no, because you don't live in the same house. I said, well, no, we don't, but I've been in contact with her. It's not like, you can't pick which of those rules you kind of follow. Then it was mentioned, well, we haven't got to worry because once you've had it, you're immune for X amount of days. And there seem to be varying, it's 30 days, it's 90 days, it's, you know, yeah, from that particular strain. The strain you had, you're immune from. You're not immune from all of them. There are so many going around. So, I don't know. So the problem is now, I think because of that, there are a lot of people that are out and about that probably shouldn't be, and that probably isn't helping why it's all spreading again like wildfire. So, bearing in mind, I'm asthmatic. Have been since I was 7, which isn't great. And, well, Mississippi is on the vulnerable at-risk list. So we have made the decision we can't risk going away. We're supposed to self-isolate. Again. Now there'll be arguments left, right and centre from all the various different camps. It's one of those things that seems to be causing lots of consternation, is that the right word? Consternation? Between people over what you can and can't do and all that kind of thing. So, yeah. I don't know really what we're going to do. We've got to, yeah, so we won't be going away. So regardless of what I say on those videos, and what I said in the previous one, normal service will continue. Because I was trying to prep as many videos as I could in advance. So while I was away, I'd schedule them and they would drop on at least the first 2 or 3 days, if not 4. And there might be a day where there wouldn't be one, but there wouldn't be any mod reviews because obviously we're going to be away, but the weekend would be in the middle of it, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem. But as it turns out now, I'll continue to do the mod reviews and everything I normally do. So, yay. Yeah. Disappointed? Massively. Needed to get away. Needed the mountains and lakes and the views and fresh air. And, you know, all of that. But I suppose, again, it's first world problems, isn't it? I'm perfectly safe here. I've got everything I need here. You know, it's just that desire to be out and about, isn't it? So, yeah. It is what it is. Anyway, we're not going to dwell. There is work to be done. These aren't the fastest machines, are they? What I will do, I think, is let's get it kind of up into its operating position. Now, what I could have done, probably, I'm just going to see now, is there a gap in the hedge? I could have just come straight across past the horse farm, couldn't I? I don't know if there's a gap in the hedge or not. I didn't want to get stuck. Is there a gap at this end? There is. Ha 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 ha. Could have come straight across there, couldn't I? Just through that gap. Never mind. Let's turn it on. Now I could run multiple ones of these, but the thing about this being, because I've got a whole load of jobs now, obviously I'm racing the rain, so you know we could end up rain stops play, but we'll see. I'm racing the rain, but I've got so many other jobs to do in the background, all the fields to prep with the cultivating and the seeding and whatnot. It doesn't matter, I can just leave this chugging away. Once I've given myself enough room at either end for this to turn round, and these do turn pretty much on a dime, I can then come back to it when I need to for unloading, because these don't unload automatically, do they? Or do they? Is it the square ones that don't, or none of them do? I can't remember. I don't do cotton harvesting often enough to remember. I know people have told me before. It's part of my charm. It may annoy you. It may frustrate you that I could never remember anything. But it's who I am. Please love me for it. Now, I suppose the big difference is they do 10,000 litre bales, not 20,000 litre bales like the case harvester does. So we will have twice as many bales. I haven't even looked to see what the cotton price is. What we might do is just move them to the side of the field if the price isn't great. Or we might just decide, you know what, doesn't matter, let's get rid of them. It's a fair sized field. Now, I didn't really talk very much about this one. I said that I'd cleared all the trees. We sold all the wood chips, which covered the cost of buying the field. It was absolutely brilliant to where we needed to be. But I did extend the field. If we kind of go to the map and have a look. This field came to here. I wonder if I can see it on here. No. And came down, across, and then down pretty much straight there. So I extended it. I ploughed that all out, this section here and down there. Because we kind of owned all the way up to... No, I never bought that bit. That's got trees on it as well. So I kind of went as far as I could on the boundary of what we had. So it has been extended. And at the bottom end, like a lot of the fields on Spectacle Island, it goes off a slope and down to the water. So I want to make sure I've got at least an edge down that end. And what I'll probably do is a straight edge down this side as well. And then the sort of triangle bit to the side, I will do myself, so as not to confuse the working force. That I should be employing. Hang on a minute. Oh yeah, it preloads, doesn't it? I'm thinking, hang on, that's not even going to come to 5,000 litres. But it preloads the bale, doesn't it, and then pushes it to the back, then continues. I suddenly had a bit of a panic on them, so oh, hang on a second, what's occurring? I think it's another reason why I have done cotton harvesting. I've done it for contract work quite a lot. It's another reason why I probably stay away from it more than I probably should do, is because of how expensive the machinery is. It's expensive to buy unless you are saying to yourself, right, I'm going to run a cotton farm. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to do cotton. In which case, yeah, it's worth every penny invested because the amount of money you make. But even leasing the stuff costs so much money. You kind of steer away from it a bit. Well, I tend to. Again, probably just me. So, while I continue doing this, I'll let you, well, I mean, I'm going to cut to the next bit anyway. I'll say you go off and make a cup of tea, keep yourself busy, do whatever you want to do, read a book while I finish this off. And we are going to cut, and I'm going to go and grab the cultivator, start cultivating fields. I think I'm going to do the ones closest to the farm first, then we'll go out and do 9, 10, 11. It depends whether I'm going to use the other seeder as well. I might use the other seeder, which is a direct drill, the one we recently bought, on 9, 10, 11, so I don't have to cultivate that. But what I will do is cultivate these ones closest to, and then, or should I do it the other way around, because the other one's the bigger seeder. Why the Bednar Swifter, you ask? Well, this is the reason why. Because getting up to the farm, unless they go a huge route all the way around and then come across the waterways, this is all very narrow. Now, I don't doubt you probably can get a flexi coil up here. I don't want to try it. I don't want to risk it because I know all it takes is a little clip, little catch, and you end up down there with the sharks. So that's why I've gone with the Swifter. To be fair, I say to be fair, you're looking at 18.2 meters and the flex coil is 24 point something. So 6 meters difference. I say 6 meters. 6 meters is the size of a decent sized seeder. So I guess, and it's the same thing I said before when I went. I have mentioned this a lot. And I don't mean to harp on about it, but the various different farm shows I've been to, but also Agrotechnica. When you look in game and say, "Oh, it's only 6 meters. I want something bigger," when you go and stand next to a 6 meter cultivator or seeder, or even the 3 meter ones that we all sniff at all the time. Oh, it's only 3 meters. 3 meters is big. It's big. 6 meters. Well, it's double that, but you know what I mean. It's big. So all of these are going to get a going over, and then we're going to get the Absoluta out because I want to give that a go too. Now this could be a finicky so-and-so, especially if you try and open and close it while you're moving. That's why I've stopped. Plenty of horsepower on this, 500. Actually, no, this requires 500 horsepower. That is just over. Mind you, most of these fields here, 1 to 5, yeah, they're all pretty flat, to be fair. Let's drop it down. Let's give it some beans and cultivate. And this is another one of those jobs that you can bypass by getting a direct drill, and I have done that a lot. It saves an extra pass over the field, but I quite like doing it. I like, it's another one of those jobs that just makes it feel a bit more. I know in a world of no-till, and I know lots of people and lots of farms and lots of companies are trying to avoid it now as much as possible, but there are farms out there and people that still cultivate. Cultivators are still being sold, and but what you can do if you are trying to prepare your seed bed, and I mean that is in essence what this is for, you can drill directly onto your stubble. That's absolutely fine. But if you do want to put this in a little bit, what you can do with a lot of cultivators these days is your front sections that do your kind of your digging, so to speak. You can adjust the height of these, so you are just skimming the surface, and the cage rollers on the back and stuff are what will give you that nice sort of smooth the seed bed. It depends on the ground, the soil, the heat, the moisture, where you are, what your soil type's like in the world, all that kind of stuff has an impact. So yeah, it's another job into the mix. It's not a bad size either, this particular one, which means getting the fields done shouldn't be too bad. Once you've done a couple of strips around, I can get a worker going on this, and then what I will do is, because each of these fields 1 through 5, all I did straight after harvest was fertilise them. So they've all been fertilised once. Now I'm changing the field state from the post-harvest stubble to cultivating. I can come over these again and fertilise again, because many of you may know I don't fertilise, generally speaking, when I'm seeding. I will try to, if I can, get all my fertilising done before. If I have got loads of manure, if I've got loads of slurry or digestate on a map, often I will use that if I've got it, and depending on what machinery is available, liquid fertiliser, solid fertiliser, spreading, whichever way around you want to go about it, it all kind of works. I've lost my thread. What was I going to say? Oh, that I fertilise in all different ways. So yeah, generally speaking, what I will do is straight after harvest, I will get some fertiliser on the ground before I do anything else. If that field then needs ploughing because I've had corn in it, or actually that's a good point, cotton. Let's go across one. No, why did I think after cotton you had to? I was convinced. No, okay, that's not going to need ploughing. Doesn't need liming either. That's good. So maybe I'll get up there with the cultivator and do that as well. I'm thinking, should I do like soybean, like warm, across the whole lot? Another bit. Also, you know what I could do? Sunflower. I suppose the thing to do is look at what's selling really well at the moment. Soybean, like I said, was always one that was supposed to. Generally speaking, I think the prices are generally higher, but you do get blips here and there. Sunflower sells very well. Uh, yeah, at the moment, I've got sunflower price at 1893, which is higher than any of the prices for soybean. I might do that, I might do a ton of sunflower, like loads of sunflower, and get a helianthus header. I haven't used a helianthus header in I can't remember how long. Because you can harvest faster with them. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do a massive sunflower harvest. And then what I'll probably do on field 9, 10, 11 is do, let's say, a big old barley harvest. We'll do a big old barley harvest. Just because, because I want to have some more snow. I don't need straw on here, do I? I'm thinking of another map. Ha 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 ha. I can't give too much away at the moment. Yeah, I don't need straw on here, do I? I've got plenty of straw. I've got plenty of total mixed ration. I've got straw in the thing. Yeah, I haven't got to worry. So I haven't got to worry, I'm inherently a bit of a warrior. I have got my... Yep, it's there. Right, what we'll do, we'll set worker off. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't really been utilising multiple fertiliser types. I have just been using the solid fertiliser from the CNS and Marie silo and just cracking on that. I am using my manure. I mean, to be fair, yeah, it depends on the map, depends where you are, depends what's going to make you the most money and kind of picking and choosing. I'm using my manure at the moment, and what I purchased to do the pear trees, and my slurry I can sell at the biogas plant. No, yes I can, can't I? Yeah, I can sell at the biogas plant, and then get digestate, which I can also sell. And because the prices are good on here for digestate, I'm going to sell them rather than use them. Because again, it's a similar sort of situation with the pig food. If I can sell the digestate for a really good price and then buy fertiliser cheaper, I'm going to do it that way around. Unless, of course, I was going for a more organic sort of, I decided I want to be a more organic. I'm going to try and avoid using chemical fertilisers as much as possible. I will. That was something actually I was quite interested and intrigued about during the FarmCon stuff. They had the guy from John Deere and they were doing the precision farming chat and saying about they want to make some adaptations to the precision farming we've got at the moment, but then they're looking at the year 2 of the program that they're doing, and they're talking about having variable rate applicators for all sorts of stuff now. For weeding, it's going to be more not just variable rate. There's a lot of places now doing spot application. And I saw a thing in Holland. Holland do some amazing stuff at tulip farms and carrots and all sorts of stuff. There was one I watched, it was ages ago now. And it was inside a massive polytunnel greenhouse. And this robotic gantry, I suppose it is, moves across the entire roof. A little bit like the gantry crane over in the pellet hall. And what it does, it has cameras on it, and as it moves across, the cameras identify weeds. So anything that's not the plant is a weed and needs to be removed. So what it does, as soon as it identifies there's a weed there, it spot applies weed killer, herbicide, whatever, fungicide, whatever it might be that it requires. It identifies it, spot sprays, boom, moves on. Spot sprays, boom. So you're not applying across the entire crop, you're not applying across the entire field. Even if you have a variable rate, which kind of adjusts as you go, this is far more. I mean, there are even, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, when we were at FarmCon 2019 in Haselwinkel in Germany at Claas headquarters, there was a guy that had come all the way from Japan for FarmCon, and he was a representative from a drone company, and he was interested to see, what was happening and what it was all about, and what their company. I'm sure this was right. What their company do is they have drones, and the drones fly out across the fields and do the same thing. They have a small herbicide tank, fungicides, all different stuff. But they can also do it with fertilizing if you've got patches that do it, and that will do the same thing. Depending on your mapping, if there are spots on the field that are identified, the drone will fly over. It will identify patches. When it isolates a patch, finds a patch of weeds, wherever it is, it spot applies from the air. You don't even have to drive over. It does it from the air. The world's going mad. So yeah, I guess everything's changing rapidly. I know from watching all of the farming channels that I watch, farmers generally, there is that misapprehension, trying to think of the words. Misunderstanding, I guess. People just assume that, obviously chemicals and stuff are worse for the field than something that's more organic, absolutely. But this concept that farmers are just spraying willy-nilly, they're just putting stuff down en masse because, the concept that if you double the fertilizers, you're going to double your yield, that's not how it works. And farmers don't want to. It's expensive. They don't want to be wasting fertilizers and herbicides and pesticides and fungicides and all of these things. They'll avoid putting them down if they can because of how expensive they are. Like I'm doing now, it's just a blanket application. And some will. It depends, what your crops are like and all the data that's received in. I don't know one kind of explain it. It's just kind of, it was on my mind. I was just thinking about it. So this is what's going to be happening. We will be cultivating, fertilizing as I do each field. Then when we move over to the next field, I will get the next bit of equipment in, which will be the Stara Absoluta 44, and we get some crops in the ground. That's the plan. Actually, I don't even know. Have I had a message come up saying that the cotton harvest has stopped at all? I don't know if it has. Whoa. I'll do that bit later. Field's almost done. You kind of think in your head, but I want to add another step in. If I had a direct drill, I wouldn't have to go over the field again. It doesn't take that long. Once you get into that routine, that cycle, as one bit of, like I'm doing now, it's keeping that whole system rolling. As one bit's rolling, you've got the next bit going. You're utilising your time as wisely as you can. Bit there. Is he going to turn around or is he finished? He is not finished. There's a bit left. Swing that round that way. Boom. Right. I'll see you when I've got the Stara up here, and then what I'm going to do, like I say, I'm going to roll through these fields. We'll get all of these prepped. I'll think about, is that going to be wide enough to do all of that or not? Yep, just about. And then we'll see how much cotton we end up with, providing of course we get the cotton done before it pours with rain. Did I turn it off? I did. So this is another reason why it's good to have 4 big tractors, because it means you can start improving or increasing the equipment you've got that you own, but also it means that you then have got your vehicles are interchangeable. Now I know that's not necessarily realistic for most farms, and it's not something I do very often, but it does mean at any given time I can say, I need to do so and so, just grab a tractor. And if one of my, or if I've only got one large horsepower tractor and that's being used, you kind of then get to a point that, okay, I've got another big piece of machinery I want to use and I can't because I haven't got another tractor with enough horsepower. At least in this situation, I can. Here's where we're at. I just had the sudden epiphany, is it? I need to test something. Because I just suddenly had a flashback, a memory of when this first came out. Somebody messaged me to say it is a direct drill. I've been saying it up to now, and again, if you've already commented, if you've already messaged to say it is, I just suddenly had this thing in my head. I suddenly thought, I'm sure somebody messaged to say, despite what it says, it is. So I'm going to check anyway, because if I'm spending all this time cultivating fields and preparing them when it actually is a direct drill, then I haven't got to worry. Let's open it up, because this is a bit of a beast to open as well. It's a big old machine, so nicely made. Details in the description. Mine's gone blank. Connect modding. This is a connect modding one, isn't it? I'm sure it's a connect modding one. Yeah. Absoluta beast. Right, let's turn it on. Let's drop it down. It is. Oh no. You're kidding me. I'm glad I checked. I am so glad I checked. Now this is supposed to require... How many horsepower? Oh no, that's a good point actually. I never thought to check that. It's under planters. 330 horsepower. This tractor's got 585. Why does that seem to be struggling to pull it? It is a direct drill. So I've just cultivated those first two fields for absolutely zero reason. That's pretty cool though. I'm glad I remembered that. I don't often, do I? I don't remember much. My life is this weird haze of... Mind you, it's kind of nice. Have those nice moments where you suddenly remember something and go, oh, cool. So there we go. The Stara Absoluta 44 row is a direct drill. Oh my days. Cotton harvesting is continuing. I think I'm up to five bales I think we're up to the moment. Right, which means I can sell that swifter. Don't need it. Bit more money in the old skyrocket, innit? That'd be nice. This is cool, isn't it? Another big addition to FS22 with a lot of these operations, whether it be cultivators, seeders, plows, they've added a lot of 3D particulate out the back. So at the moment you get a bit of dust and a bit of, bit of dust here and there, but they've added in a lot of 3D particulate at the back of harvesters and those kind of things. It all looks rather nice. This isn't going to take too long at all, is it? Does it say it only goes at 6 miles an hour, or am I just having a real problem here? That could be what the downside to it was. Yeah, 6 miles an hour. See where the others run at 9s. Yeah, that is a little bit of a downside. But the fact it is a direct drill and the fact it does all the crop types, it's another one of those ones that does everything. At least I think it does. I haven't checked that. That's a good point. Let's double check that as well. Turn that off, raise that up. Let's go with, on my side panel, soybean, sugar beet, cotton, wheat, yeah, wheat, barley, oats, canola, also rose grass. Then we go through the other ones. Yeah, so it does everything. Very versatile, very versatile. Right, I'll take the Swifter back then. Awesome. So I'll do sunflower in all of these, so I can get a helianthus header. We'll get a ton of sunflower on the go. And then field 9, 10, 11. Actually, you know what I'm going to do as well? While we're here, why not? I'm feeling saucy. Let's go for field. How much is field 12? 77,000. Let's buy it. Yes. How much is field 15? 91. Yeah, you know what? Because... Oh, hang on. Is that the other side of the road? It is. Yeah, I was going to do all this side first, wasn't it? So I could plow it all out. The road runs along there. That's not going to help very much, is it? That's the one I want to do next, but that's 148. It's not going to leave me much money. Although I'm going to sell the Swifter back. I might buy the other one as well in a minute. Let's just get the work carrying on with that. Because midnight I'm going to get all the money... No, I'm not. Of course I'm not. I'm going to get all the money from the digester, from the silage I've sold. I haven't sold any silage yet. I've just finished compacting it, haven't I? It's got to ferment first. So that'll be tomorrow midnight, not tonight at midnight. Or hopefully it'll be tomorrow at midnight. Mustn't forget I've got to do all that as well. Then there'll be all the digestate to sell and everything rolls around. Right, well I'll hop out while that's going then. Help us see. Blocked by an object. So what I'll do then is do the second load of fertiliser after I've seeded this time. Right then, you can go back. I was quite enjoying doing the cultivating. There really isn't much point in me keeping it and doing that cultivating for the sake of it now. It's pointless. Had that Absoluta not been a direct drill, I would have kept it, and of course I would have carried on doing the cultivating, but there doesn't seem a lot of point now. Oh well. You live and learn, you live and remember, sometimes. Excellent, right, so when that's done I will get that, I'll probably do 4, then I'll come back and do 1 and 2. Let's sell this. While I'm down here at the sell point, let's just sell it 106 grand back. Yeah, while I'm down here, I drove through because it was too long and easier to drive through than back up. Field 12 that I just bought has got sugar beet in it. If we go across here and look at our biogas plant, remember the biogas plant takes potato and sugar beet. I'll get paid a little bit for that, but I'll get the digestate, which again I can sell. So what I am going to do while I'm here, I'm going to lease the sugar beet harvester, get up there, get that harvested, then that field can be re-prepped and added in. I'm going to blend that in, and we're going to gradually, like I said, I want to have a massive field running up the side of there. That's kind of my aim. So, beet technology. What did I use last time? Did I go with the Holmer last time, or did I go with the Roper? I can't remember. Actually, what should guide me is going to be the header size. Yeah, the Holmer HR12 is 5.4, that's 4. Although... Oh, they're tall height control ones. Yeah, I'll sort that out. Right. I'll do that off camera. So we'll go with the T440. The more I think about it, the more the mistake I made with the Absoluta and the cultivator was an absolute cock-up, wasn't it? It happens, but it's... Oh, anyway, right, sugar beet. So while everything's been going on, let's have a check, shall we, and see. Fields 1, 2, 3 and 4 have all got sunflower in. They're all growing, and they've all got 2 fertiliser states. Field 5 I've just started. We're going to put into there, which means the fertiliser spreader will go up to there. As far as field 6 goes, field 6 has been completely harvested. The bales are all out across the field, so what I will do is, as soon as I've emptied this sugar beet to the biogas plant, we'll get on with that. Field 12, so while all that was going on, the harvester was going on field 12, which was I was unloading. So what I'm going to do now, that needs ploughing, but not liming. So I go down to... So I'm going to plough that and then plough out the gap between. So that will all become field 9, 10, 11, 12. It's one big lump. 13 will be the next purchase, and we'll work our way around. So the field will be all of that once I'm done, I think. So what I'll do, like I say, I'll unload this and then I'll try to... I'm just thinking, will I get it done before it gets dark? At least I've got the harvesting done before the rain started, so the sugar beet harvest is done. What I'm probably going to do is I'll just chuck sunflower in field 6 as well, as it's a direct drill. I haven't got to worry about clearing the stuff. That doesn't need ploughing or cultivating either. Put those in. We do 120,000 litres first. Digestate will start climbing again. We'll get the money for this at midnight. It's not going to be a massive payout, but I might as well take the crop from the field that I've just bought. Why not? What I'll do is let that chug for a little bit. I'm going to go and get the flatbed step deck trailer, and I'll see. I'm going to be able to put the. I don't know if I'm going to get away with putting the bales on that. You know, I might do. Yeah, it's got straps, but. And now I can focus on getting the seed again. I wanted to focus on getting the sugar beet done because of the rain. Now I can get field 5 finished with seeding, get the second fertilising state on that, and we roll forward. Yes, we do. I was wondering whether or not I'd have to wait and see you in the morning, but it hasn't got too dark just yet. Oh, that's the other thing I haven't checked. What is the cost? The price of cotton? Oh, that's not good, is it? Boat unloading station, though, which means I need to put it on the boat. Yeah, spinner is even lower. I was hoping to be more than that. Ooh. Maybe I'll just unload the cotton round bales onto the ferry. Is that something taking a dip in light? Maybe. I don't know whether or not to just load the low loader, the trailer, and do I take it on the ferry in the morning? I don't want to lose the light. Oh, that other contraption that I got to pick up the bales, that's to go onto a large tractor 3-point link. It doesn't lift them, so I can't put them onto a trailer, which doesn't really help, does it? So I've gone back to my old faithful. Now I could have got an auto load trailer, of course. But as I've said before, with different jobs, where's the fun in that? Now, if I was going to do cotton repeatedly, I might do that. The good thing with these ones is because it's open end at the end, you can put the spikes through, you're not splitting the wrap or anything like that. This is another one of those things. I have done it numerous ways. I've done auto loading. I've got quite a few bales actually. I don't know how I'm going to go about this because it's quite big. So what I might do is strap this on the back, then I know the others aren't going to roll off, provided this one doesn't roll off, of course. Stay there. Straps two guides the back. Find my head on those spikes. Is there another one there? That's not likely to stay though, is it? Oh, maybe. Right. This may be a slightly unwieldy load when I'm done. So I don't think I'm going to get away with putting... I might do. Whether or not I'll get away with putting the low loader... I keep saying low loader, step deck trailer. Whether I'll get away with putting that on the ferry, whether it will take the bales from that or whether they do need to be on the floor. It's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? When there is a way round that, but it's a bit naughty. In that, if I put the trailer on and get all the way there and it doesn't work, I could just reset the trailer, but that's not really on, is it? It's a bit of a low move. Okay. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Right. That was actually pretty good. For me. Right until that point. Come on. The last two that were over there, one is a full bale, one is a partial bale. I've already started fertiliser spreading on here, but I wanted to wait till the bales were all cleared. But I can't remember which one's full, which one's partial. I think this is the... no, it might be the other way around. Oh, it doesn't matter. That's the partial. 5,159. We've got quite a few. Right. Happy days. You naughty, naughty Bale. Oh, that's annoying. Why is this? Come on. Right, let's try that again. Oh, frustrating. Right. When this is fully loaded, we'll decide what we're going to do about it. Because I've got some other jobs I do need to do, and then in the morning I'll probably have to get over. We'll do all the ploughing out on the other field. Come on, work. There we go. That needs. Does it need a nudge over? We might be right. Yeah, so we'll make a decision on those. We'll just get all these off to start off with, and then I'll worry about the rest later on. But I do want to get field 5 at least seeded. I'll probably go into the night getting this one done as well. So we'll fertilise it. Like I say, I wanted to get the bales off first. And I'll go into the night with this, and then in the morning be sorting the other stuff out. Don't know where I'm at sort of recording time at the moment, to be honest with you. And then we need to sell this wool, and there'll be digestate to sell, and yeah, a whole load of jobs. Whole load. It's starting to get dark, but I thought now's probably not a bad idea, or now's not a bad time. I might give that, because they've just crane sort straps now. If you're going to take it to boat unloading station 1, rather than put the lorry on, which I could do, it would be quicker and easier. But actually not, I'm going to do first. Let's do that strap and that strap first. I'm coming to the other ones in a minute. I'll put the first couple on. If it works all right, then we'll go there. Field 6 is currently being fertilised, and then I will get that seeded. And then what we'll probably do is end there once I've got the cotton done, if I can. So I want to go there. Oh, that's interesting. It wants to take the whole trailer, but it's only strapped onto. I wonder. Let's do that and that. Maybe it won't work. I thought it might, but maybe not. Oh yeah, it was just caught up with the other straps. I could close the crane if I want to at this moment, but you know what? Let's whiz that across. We do have straps, and the beauty of the ramps as well is we should be okay. Let's. Oh, I shouldn't have gone that way, should I? Now I'm going to have to reset everything, aren't I? Now I'm hoping this isn't going to roll. That'll do. Oh, Jim's such a legend for putting straps on this, isn't he? Right, is that enough? No. Let's come that way a little bit more. Up a bit. That way a little bit more. Still more? Huh. What am I missing here? Oh. I'm still way over. I thought I was... Okay. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. Now stay off that one. No, I can't help it. I keep doing it the wrong way. It's because of the way I'm... There we go. Just need to be in the right orientation, then I can get it to work. So I just moved the boat completely. I might have done, you know. Those straps, that's open completely, isn't it? Well, at least they'll sell. Right, I should just swing that way a bit. Forward. Get in. This is an incredible amount of fun. I'm moving the boat on a... Right. You see where this is going? It's going to take me a little while, but it doesn't matter. I'm happy. That's all that matters. Don't know why I'm going so high. Just need to clear the deck, don't I, of the step deck and the deck of the boat. Actually, I'm going to get them all on. What I might do is let's put one that side, then one the other, just for the middle one. That's probably the best bet. It's been a busy old episode. It's got quite a bit done actually, more than I thought it was going to. And bring that one that way. Woo! As we draw nearer to our destination out of the gloomy night, I can't help thinking, overall, it's been quite a productive day. Apart from the mistakes were made, they happen. It's been okay. I've got animals to go and clear out and bed down. So once this is sold, I'll head back and do that. Field 6 I need to complete, I'll do that in the dark. And I think what I'll do is leave ploughing field 12 and the expansion of that big field till tomorrow morning in the light where I can see. It'll be a little bit easier, I think. We should get the unload thing come up, I hope. doesn't, I don't know what we're going to do. Or it might just start selling automatically, I'm not sure. Let's slow ourselves down a bit. There we go. Boom. 211, 212. About 212 grand. Nice. Oh, those, my fuel drums have got a bit of a mind of their own at the moment. If I move too sharply, as you can see, any little let off, whoa, with the accelerator. Throttle, accelerator, throttle. And they're off. I have to be careful I don't lose those over the side. But anyway, we have come to the end. Oh, look at that, sunset. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? We've come to the end of another episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please consider doing so. If you'd like to leave a comment, feel free. If you want to share this video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, as always, thanks for watching.